have a question from Nathan in Brookhaven, and Nathan asks, how do I calculate my net worth? Well, Nathan, it's a great question. Your net worth calculation is a snapshot of your financial health, and it's really just a gauge of your overall financial situation. So the good news is the formula is simple. The bad news is that simplicity can be deceptive. So to begin, the formula for net worth, or calculating your net worth, is total assets minus total liabilities. So let's talk about assets. Typically, they're things you own. For example, a car. A car is referred to as a tangible asset. There are also intangible assets, like a trademark. Assets can be liquid, they can be less liquid, they can be illiquid. An example of a liquid asset is cash. An example of an illiquid asset is a stock or a bond. And an example of a very illiquid asset is raw land. So let's talk about liabilities. What are liabilities? Well, typically they're things you owe. For example, student loans, mortgages, credit card balances. They're oftentimes referred to as debt. So to find net worth, we'll add all of the assets and we'll add all of the liabilities, and then we'll subtract the total liabilities from the total assets, and that will give us our net worth. And our goal here is that the net worth is a positive number. But if it's not, don't panic. This is not the end-all, be-all of your financial health. It's just a quick snapshot, and for some, it's a starting point. The truth is, changing the number takes time and effort, so just be ready for that. And speaking of that, a couple examples on how to change your net worth, or how your net worth changes. Let's say your annual income increases, which is always good, but your spending stays the same. That should be a positive change to your net worth. Let's say your annual income decreases, but your spending stays the same. The overall impact will most likely be negative. Let's say you use money from your bank account to pay down or even pay off a credit card balance. Although this is typically a good thing to do, it's not going to impact your net worth. Since you're reducing an asset and a liability at the same time in the same amount, these two essentially cancel each other out. Again, the net worth calculation is a good calculation. It's a good gauge, but it's not the only number or the only formula or the only method that's important when discussing your overall financial situation. Changing the outcome of the net worth calculation takes time and effort. At the very least, you've taken the first step, which is often the most difficult.